Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to host your website with AWS and add a custom domain name from Namecheap to your AWS hosted website. Before we begin the tutorial, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what AWS is, and I'm going to take you through the slide deck that I've prepared in this presentation. Okay, what is Amazon Web Services? So AWS is a cloud web hosting platform. What do you need to host a website on Amazon Web Services? Well, you're going to need to utilize a number of Amazon services, the first one being Amazon S3, the second being Route 53, and the third being CloudFront. You'll also need a custom domain name from a domain name provider. The one that we'll be using in this tutorial is called Namecheap, and you can get it from namecheap.com. I'm now going to take you through all these individual services, and the first one being Amazon S3. So what is Amazon S3? Amazon S3 is a simple storage service for your data. So it's a place where we can store our website's data basically. So here are the 5 things we're going to be doing. The first one, we're going to be creating an S3 bucket. We'll be choosing our region for this bucket. We'll then be uploading our website's files to that specific bucket. We'll also be changing some permissions. So we'll be blocking all public access and we'll be switching that to off. Bucket policy, we'll change this to public. Let's move on to the next slide. So Route 53, what is Route 53? It is Amazon's version of the domain name service. So what we'll be doing in this guide is we'll be creating a record set in Route 53. We'll also map our domain name to an S3 bucket and CloudFront distributions. We'll also add Route 53 DNS to a Namecheap's custom domain name service. Let's move on to the next slide. So Amazon CloudFront. What is CloudFront? CloudFront is a content delivery service. So what we'll be doing is we'll be creating a distribution to deliver our static website's content across the web. We'll also be adding HTTPS encryption and we'll be requesting a certificate. We'll be requesting a certificate for our Apex domain name, so that is our domain name without the www or subdomain. We'll also be creating a certificate for a wildcard domain name, and that's anything before our Apex domain name. So it can be www.websplaining.com or it can be contact.websplaining.com, whatever subdomain you desire. And also by default, and a standard feature of Amazon CloudFront is DDoS protection from AWS Shield. Let's move on to the next slide. And this slide is going to be about Namecheap. So what is Namecheap? Namecheap is a domain name registrar which provides domain name registration and web hosting services. So if you currently don't have a domain name, I've also included my affiliate link for Namecheap, and you can click it in this slideshow. I'll also include it in the description below of this video. And what we'll be doing is adding Amazon's Route 53 name service to Namecheap's custom domain name servers. Let's move on to the next slide, and here I've just included an appendix and collated all the information that you may need. So I've included my YouTube channel, my Namecheap affiliate link, AWS website, Namecheap's website. I've also included what Route 53, CloudFront and S3 are in brief videos produced and provided by Amazon's YouTube channel. Alright, now I'm just going to close out of this presentation, and I just want to show you how my website looks offline. So let's minimize this presentation here, and I'm just going to locate my files. So as you can see, the websplaining.com files are on my desktop here. Let me double click on them, and let's open them up real quick. So this is the website we're going to be hosting on AWS. I'm also going to navigate to the top of my browser here, and I'm just going to go to my domain name, so websplaining.com. I just wanted to navigate to my website's domain name just to show you that there currently are no files for my website hosted anywhere on the internet, hence why the page cannot be reached. Alright, so you've got your browser open. The first thing you're going to do is navigate to AWS's website. So what you want to do is click the top of your browser here and type www.aws.amazon.com. Alright. Once that's loaded for you, you want to navigate here to where it says sign in to the console. Now if you don't have an AWS account, you're going to want to create a new AWS account and follow the on-screen instructions. For me, I currently have an AWS account, so I'm just going to log into it. Type in your root user email address and hit next. Once you're there, you want to enter your password and then hit sign in. Okay, congratulations! You've created your AWS account. As I've explained at the start of the video in the presentation, the first service we're going to be utilizing is Amazon S3, and we're going to be uploading our files there. Now the first thing you'll need to do is scroll over to the top here, and you want to left click on Services. This will bring down a big menu here of what you can pick. You want to scroll over to where it says Storage, and you want to click S3. Okay, you're on the S3 Management Console. The first thing we're going to have to do is create a bucket. So make sure you click on the plus Create a Bucket button. Left click on it. You'll have the option to give a bucket name. Now the bucket name has to be the same as your domain name. So my domain name is websplaining.com. You do not include the www. So no subdomains, just your apex domain name. Navigate down to where it says region, and you want to pick your region. Now for my sake, I'm just going to click London, and then scroll over to the bottom left here and click Create. Alright, well done guys. So as you can see, the bucket name we've created is websplaining.com. That will be whatever your domain name is. And the region is EU London. Your region can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, so now left click on the text of your domain name. And now you'll be taken to the overview of your bucket. The first thing we're going to start altering in this bucket is the properties. So left click on Properties. And then you'll want to go to Static Website Hosting. You want to left click on it and then scroll down to where it says Static Website Hosting. You'll have three options to choose from. So you'll have the option to use this bucket to host a website, redirect requests, or disable website hosting. Well, you'll obviously want to click Use this bucket to host a website. Left click on it. In here, you want to type in index.html or whatever your index document is. You want to leave the error document blank and all the rest as it is. And then you want to hit save. Let me navigate to the top here, and as you can see, the static web hosting box has changed to bucket hosting. The next thing we're going to have to change is the permissions. Left click on Permissions. And then you want to be on the Block Public Access tab. Scroll down. And as you can see, block all public access is currently set to on, and all of them are on. What you want to do is you want to click Edit, and then you want to uncheck this, and then hit Save. And then you want to type into this box the word Confirm, and then hit Confirm. And there you go, your public access settings have been updated successfully, and as you can see, block all public access, all of them are set to off. Okay, the next thing we'll need to do is we'll need to go to the Bucket Policy tab. Left click on this, and you'll have to copy a set of instructions and paste it in here. I'll provide this set of instructions in the description of this video. For me, I'm just going to navigate to my desktop here, minimize that, and then I'm going to go to the Bucket Policy here. Let me maximize this. So this is the bucket policy that you're actually going to be pasting in there. So you'll want to highlight all of this, right click on it, and copy. Alright, let me just X out of this now. And let's go back to the tab here. And you'll want to right click, paste. Okay, so the only thing you'll need to change in here is the domain name. So as you can see, mine says websplaining.com. Let's say yours was something else, then you'll need to delete this, and then you'll need to type in your domain name. I'm just going to retype my domain name here real quick. Okay, so once you've typed in your domain name here, you simply want to left click on Save. And then you should see the bucket policy change, and you'll get a green icon here saying public, and it will also give you a warning. This bucket has public access. You've provided a public access to this bucket. We highly recommend that you never grant any kind of public access to your S3 bucket. Okay, so this might intimidate you, this warning message. However, to host a website on the internet, you need to have your files public so people can actually view your website. Okay, so once the bucket policy has changed to public, you'll just want to hit save one more time just to make sure that the changes have taken place. Okay, and there we go. Our S3 bucket's properties and permissions have been changed to be able to host our website. Now what you want to do is you want to go back to Amazon S3 here. So click this, Amazon S3 on the top left hand side. And now you'll actually want to click back into websplaining.com, your actual bucket name here. You want to left click on it, and we're actually going to upload our files. So you want to hit this blue button here that says upload, and then you want to simply add your files using this button here, or simply drag your folders in here. I'm going to drag my folder in here because I find that easier. So let me just alter this real quick. Let me double click on this, and then we're just going to simply highlight all our website's files, and we're just going to simply drag it in. I'm just going to maximize this now. So there, Amazon has recognized our files, and now you just want to simply hit the upload button. And there you have it. Our website's files have been successfully uploaded. We are now completely done with Amazon S3. And you can go back here to the top left hand side and click on the services again. The next service we're going to be utilizing is Amazon Route 53. So let's scroll all the way down here to where it says networking and content delivery, and you want to choose Route 53. Left click on it. Once that's loaded for you, you want to scroll down and you want to click on DNS management, so the one on the furthest left hand side here, and click get started. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is click on create hosted zone. Click it again, and there we go. As you can see on the right hand side here, it's asking us for our domain name, so you can just type in your domain name without the www dot, so mine is websplaining.com, and you want to click the create button. Okay, so now we've successfully created a hosted zone, and as you can see, here's Amazon's name servers that we'll need to change our Namecheap's domain name servers to. So let's get started on that and create a new tab, and then go to www.namecheap.com. Okay, so now that you're on the Namecheap.com website, you'll need to sign in to your Namecheap account. Remember, if you don't have a Namecheap account, you'll want to hit the sign up button, and you'll want to make sure that you actually click on my affiliate link instead of going to Namecheap.com. Okay, so now that we've established that, I'm going to sign in because I already have an account. Type in your information and then hit sign in. Once you're on Namecheap, you want to navigate to your domain name. So as you can see, here's my domain name that I want to use, and it's websplaining.com. You want to navigate to the right hand side here and click Manage. Once you've done that, you want to scroll down to where it says Name Servers. Here you want to change the Namecheap name servers from basic DNS to custom DNS. So make sure you click on that arrow and then click Custom DNS. Once you're here, you'll want to add Route 53's name servers. So let's go back to the tab here, click on this, and then in this box here, you want to copy each of the name servers without the dot at the end. So let's highlight this and copy. Let's go back to Namecheap tab, and then you want to paste in the first name server. And then you want to repeat it for the remaining three. And then to add more name servers, you'll just want to hit the Add Name Server button. So I'm going to click it twice because I know there's 4. Let's go copy the last remaining 2. Okay, now that you've copied all 4 AWS name servers, you'll want to save it, hit the check mark here. And now you're done configuring your Namecheap domain name. So it gives you a little prompt here that says DNS server update may take up to 48 hours to take effect. So make sure you give your website plenty of time to propagate and don't expect it to be available immediately. Okay, so go back to Route 53 Management Console here. And for now, we're done with Route 53, just for now. We'll be coming back to it later down the line. And you'll want to click Services. You want to scroll all the way down here to where it says Networking and Content Delivery. And then just above Route 53, it says CloudFront. You want to hit this, so left click on it. Once you're here, you want to create an Amazon CloudFront distribution. So hit the big Create Distribution button here. And you'll need to select a delivery method for your content. You have 2 choices. You have Web and you have RTMP. You're going to choose Web, so click Get Started. Okay, once you're here, before we fill in all this information, The first thing we're going to do actually is scroll all the way down until you see SSL Certificate, and you want to click on the Request or Import a Certificate with ACM. Left click on this. This should open up the AWS Certificate Manager. So once you're on this web page, we're going to be requesting two SSL certificates. The first one is going to be a wildcard certificate for our subdomain name, so that's for www. The second is going to be for our Apex domain name without the www. So in this text box here, you're simply going to type *.yourdomainname.com. So as you can see, if you just look at this piece of text here, it says use an asterisk to request a wildcard certificate to protect several sites in the same domain. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're covering www and all other subdomain name variations that you might choose. You'll also want to click add another name to this certificate. Left click on it, and here you'll just want to type in your Apex domain name, so your domain name without the www. So mine is websplaining.com. Scroll down, and once you've done that, you simply hit next. You'll be given two methods of validation. You're going to go with DNS validation and hit next. And we're not going to bother adding tags. Hit review and then hit confirm and request. Okay, as you can see, the validation status is pending. Let's give that some time and it should be successful. And after, the validation status will change from pending validation to success. In the meantime, while we wait for our certificates to validate, we can add a CNAME record to Route 53. So you're simply going to click on one of these arrows here for one of your subdomain names. I'm going to choose the top one, left click on it, and it'll give you a CNAME record. So instead of you having to enter all this information and generate the record in Route 53, we can just simply left click here, create record in Route 53, and it will do it for us. So let's left click on it. And at the top here, it basically says, below is your DNS record for domain validation. Click Create below to create the record in your Route 53 hosted zone. Simply click Create and it will add that record to Route 53. Let me just scroll down here. And as you can see, it says success. The DNS record was written to your Route 53 hosted zone. It may take up to 30 minutes for the changes to propagate and for AWS to validate the domain. So, like the message just said, we'll just need to be patient here. Okay, so I've waited about 5 minutes and the status changed from pending to success. Now that we've got our certificate, we can scroll back up to the top here and click on Services. We're then going to navigate back to Route 53. Okay, so once you're on the Route 53 Management Console, you want to click Hosted Zones. Once you're here, you want to select the hosted zone you created previously on Route 53. So in my case, it's websplaining.com. Left click on it. And then if you look at the last record, you can see it's the CNAME record that we added during the certificate requests in the Certificate Manager of Amazon. Okay, now that I've shown you the CNAME record, let's navigate back to CloudFront Management Console here on the previous tab. Now scroll back up to the top and start completing your distribution. So the first thing we're going to start completing is the origin settings, and we're going to start with the origin domain name. Here you'll need to select the bucket. So left click and then choose your bucket that hosts your files. So in my case, it's websplaining.com.s3.amazon.aws.com. Left click on it. The origin ID will auto-populate. You'll leave the origin path blank. You scroll down to where it says Default Cache Behavior Settings. Here you want to change the viewer protocol policy from what it says here, HTTP and HTTPS, to redirect HTTP to HTTPS. Left click on this. And now continue to scroll down while leaving all the other settings as they are until you get to distribution settings. Here you want to add the alternate domain names or CNAMEs. So you want to add your subdomain name and your Apex domain name. So in my case, my subdomain name is www.websplaining.com and my Apex domain name is websplaining.com. For the SSL certificate, you want to check the custom SSL certificate, and then you'll want to click this box here and you'll want to request the SSL certificate that we requested previously on the certificate manager. So in this case, it's this wildcard SSL certificate, which also has the Apex domain certificate covered too. left click on it, and then continue to scroll down. Leave the settings as they are until you get to the default root objective. Here you'll need to add your index.html or whatever your .html file is called. So in this case, it's index.html. And then click Create Distribution. And as you can see, the current status here is in progress and the state is enabled. Now we'll give it some time for the status to change. So I'll be back with you when the status has changed. Okay, so I've just refreshed the page. Let's see if the status has changed. And as you can see, it was saying processing before and now it's saying deployed. Excellent. So our distribution has been deployed on CloudFront. Now let's click into this distribution. There's something we need to take from it. And what we're going to take from here is the domain name. This information here, so cloudfront.net and all these numbers before it. You're just going to copy this. And now we're going to go back to the Route 53 management console here. And we're going to create a new record set. Left click on it. The type of record set that you want to create is an A record set, IPv4 address. So in the name section, you're going to type your subdomain name. So mine is going to be www. You don't need to add the dot because it has already been added here. So it's .websplaining.com. So www.websplaining.com. And then in the alias area, you want to change that from no to yes. And then you should have an alias target here. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste in our CloudFront domain name information. So just make sure it's nice and neat here with no spaces. So as you can see, this CloudFront distribution is recognized and it's populated here. You don't need to press that because you've already populated it. And then you just want to navigate all the way down here. There's no other settings that we need to fill in. And you just want to hit create. Okay, and with the addition of that A record, that is the final record set that we need to create in Route 53. We have completed all the additions necessary for Amazon S3, Amazon CloudFront. We've created our certificate for both our Apex domain name and our subdomain name, and we've completed all the record sets in Route 53. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test our domain name. So we're going to create a new tab here, and we're going to navigate to our website's domain name. So in my case, it's going to be www.websplaining.com, and then hit enter. And hopefully, fingers crossed, our website should load. And there you have it. Websplaining.com has loaded. HTTPS is enabled, as you can see by the padlock symbol here. And let's just check the URL. So as you can see, it's https://www.websplaining.com. Alright guys, congratulations. You have just hosted your website on Amazon Web Services. I hope you enjoyed this complete video for Amazon Web Services, which included Amazon S3, Amazon Route 53, Amazon CloudFront, Amazon Certificate Manager, and finally our domain name registrar, Namecheap.com. Thank you very much for watching guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give the video a like, comment down below, and don't forget to support the channel by subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video.
Is it so hard to